This video is sponsored by Commentier Coffee. More on that later.
I have a funny article I want to read, which is called 18 Behaviors That Turn Guys Off Instantly, even if you're the most attractive woman they've ever seen. So this is an article written for women. I'm not a woman, but I am a guy, and I know what turns me off instantly. This is like those alpha females that are like, the only way you'll get to know women is through a woman, and then they just say the same things that alpha males say. I have this like belief that these are the most useless articles that you could ever read, and I think it would be funny just to like see what they have to say. Do you meet someone nice at a party or get together, but they turn down an invite for coffee? Not often. Personally, don't experience that much. I'll say that much. Do you have problems getting beyond a first date or getting dropped after a week or two? Definitely not a problem for me. Yeah. I'm the one doing the turning down. Oh wait, I am supposed to be the man in this situation. So they're asking the girl, do you meet someone, but then they turn down an invite for coffee? Do you have problems beyond getting? Now that is true. I do that. That's not true. Number 1, a potential romantic partner wants to know that you're important to them. So this is where we get to the point where these things become useless, because the first behavior that turns guys off is just like, hey, are you ignoring them? Are you ignoring them too much? Do you mock others' passions? It's like, hey, what's a behavior that will turn guys off? Have you checked if you make fun of them for the things they're passionate about? Have you checked that out yet? Don't put like a basic human like thing. Hey, do you mock other people? Everyone has that thing they're into, whether it's bowling, reality TV, kale, or Star Trek. You might not understand it, but if you mock their passion, it's an instant turnoff. Like if you're reading this and you're like, oh wait, I do mock other people's passions, then you're just crazy, man. You need to go get help because you're going to an article, first of all, figuring out how to not turn guys off. Yes, I would say it turns me off when people mock my passions. A lot of people are passionate about kale. If you make fun of them for that, they're going to drop you. Number 3, do you check out the eye candy? It's bad enough if you're constantly checking your IG, but even worse if you're openly scoping out a hot guy or girl that turns your head. Yeah, that also seems like a very obvious thing. I feel like articles like this should be a little more like, you know, you're talking about yourself too much. Or the first one even, like you have too much going on and you're not focusing completely on the date. At least that makes a little more sense than like, do you mock them and do you check out other people while you're hanging out? Are you closed off emotionally? Like, I don't need to read an article to know if I'm closed off emotionally. I could just look at myself and say, hey, am I closed off emotionally? Maybe that's why people don't like me, because I am not emotionally vulnerable, right? Are you a poor sport? One round of pool at the local dive bar and a potential mate might scratch and run if you rage when you lose or thump your chest and brag when you win. Now this one, I actually think this one might be a little smarter because there are people who can get a little ragey. I don't know also like why this was aimed at like women. It says 18 behaviors that turn guys off instantly. None of this has to do with specifically men or women. It's just normal. It's normal human things. Do you have Do you have fits of jealousy, guys? Hey, do you ever throw tantrums? Being wanted is a nice feeling, but if you get possessive and see everyone as a threat, that can get old fast. Oh yeah, it can. You gotta grow up. Yeah, really gotta grow up. Next, are you a pessimist? It's another one that's pretty obvious. Maybe not are you a pessimist, but are you constantly criticizing other people or annoyances on a date? Actually can be a pretty important thing. It's still a dumb behavior to point out. Hey, are you negative? Maybe that's why people don't like you. Are you a backstabber? Yeah, do you fuck over the people that you date? Do you go around behind their back and fuck them over? Maybe that's why they don't like you. It's just like the most obvious thing.
Have you killed someone in their family before?
Yeah, that's why the guy won't call me back. Do you have low self-worth? See, this is the opposite, you know? You can be too critical. You can have this like pride about yourself and everything else like annoys you and is like something's wrong with it. But again, you know, if you're too, and now I'm like getting into I'm like trying to sell the article to you guys. Do you belittle potential dates? Like I just don't know. Like a lot of this stuff, it's like after you write this one article, haven't you like already written most of the articles you're ever gonna write? Someone pointed out that belittling potential dates is literally the same as do you mock others' passions? It's the same thing. You're just belittling them over something. Are you a poor conversationalist? Yeah, if you can't talk, that's probably bad. Do you argue with them? You do not want to do anything ever? Maybe the article should be, hey, like, how can you be a normal person? Because this isn't even a dating thing. One, this isn't a thing in dating for women in heterosexual relationships, but it's also not a thing that's just in dating in general. This is a life thing. Friends, family members, They're not going to like you if you do all these things. Are you disrespectful? Like, dude, do something interesting. Even writing this, like, are you a stage 5 clinger? Just say, do you have attachment issues? Another thing that is like not even just a romantic relationship thing. I need things that I can be like, okay, these are things that I need to watch out for in a date. The silent killer of relationships is not what I think it is. What do you guys think the silent killer in a relationship is? Give me an honest thought, you know? Give me an honest thought. Someone said, I don't have attachment issues. I have attachment kiss yous. I'm writing that down. I'm stealing that for a Queef Jerky song. What is the silent killer? Just after my wife and I got married, we attended a seminar on aiding the rehabilitation of human trafficking. Jesus Christ, man. Derek Harvey really jumped right into it. Right after my wife and I got married, we needed to figure out how to stop human trafficking. Like, dude, okay, maybe we should start with like buying the house, you know? I pretty much felt like an expert at marriage. He shot his hand up quickly to answer the question about the divorce, and he blurted out, sex, money, and communication. And then I looked at my wife next to me and I grinned. Too easy. Dude, imagine going to the rehabilitation of human trafficking seminar and he's like, what's the biggest cause of divorce? And you're like, yeah, I got this one. Money, sex, and communication. What? Buddy, relax. Wrong, the presenter barked back. Those are symptoms of the real problem. Dude, what is this article? My wife came out as gay and I can't help but hate her? Man opens up about conflicted feelings amid his divorce. Jesus Christ, I'm opening that link up. Let's go. What a crazy article to just like link. Just be like, hey, I think you might like this one. The one where this guy hates his gay wife. Yeah, I think you might hate this one. No, like it. You think you might like it. You don't hate it. That's why they're suggesting it to me. I'm gonna like it. Ouch. Embarrassed much? Dude, who is this guy? Not only was I given a sharp lesson in humility, but what followed changed my life. I was about to be told the best piece of marriage advice that this young, prideful, newly married man boy could have ever asked for. The reason marriages end in divorce is because of one thing: unmet expectations. Ugh, boring. Boring. Boo sound effect. Boring. Boo. Jesus Christ, that is not what I meant. What the hell? Yeah, boring. That's boring. Boring. Mind blown. Hey everyone, let's stop for 1 second to talk about the sponsor for this video, Cometeer Coffee. Today I'm going to show you how to make an iced cold glass of Cometeer iced coffee. First, you just want to choose one of Cometeer's many different types of coffee. The one we're choosing today is Southern Weather by Onyx Coffee. It's a medium blend with notes of milk, chocolate, plum, and candied walnuts. All you want to do to make the iced coffee is take one of Cometeer's capsules and thaw it in the fridge overnight. Now once you thaw one of these bad boys, all you gotta do is open the cap and pour it on in. Ooh. Now just stir that bad boy. Look how easy it is. Let's taste it. To me, this is such a huge step up from at-home coffee. Every time someone tries to serve me coffee, oh, I'll serve you coffee in my house, it'll be so good. No, it's never good. Until now. Now, Cometeer is actually flash frozen to lock in the freshness inside of their capsules. It's a completely new format of coffee that's easy to use, and it's delicious. Cometeer ships monthly to your door in these little boxes, so you can pick exactly the kind of coffee that you like, whether it's light roast, medium, dark, decaf. Now, I love how Cometeer has amazing, convenient, and easy options for coffee in the morning, so I don't have to make a big fuss about it. If I wake up and I want a quick cup of coffee, I can just jump to the freezer and make one myself. So if you want to find a new way to change up your morning, go to Cometeer.com to get 4 boxes of coffee. That's 32 total cups of Cometeer coffee for just $60. Thank you to Cometeer Coffee for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to the fun. My newly married man boy brain, relax, man. Couldn't handle that revelation. Enough with the scared shit. I'm done. I don't want to be scared anymore. Stop that. My newly married man boy brain couldn't handle the revelation. I don't remember much of what was said after that. He blacked out. He was like, unmet expectations. Oh, yeah. I was too busy thinking of all the unmet expectations I was already experiencing after being married for a month. So what do I do to fix it, man? Since that seminar 6 years ago, I've seen the pain and frustration that plays out from having unmet expectations. Not just in marriage, but in all relationships. It's a deadly venom that flows to the heart and wreaks havoc in relationships. Deadly venom, man. That is intense to say about unmet expectations. There's so many things that could be the deadly venom of a relationship, like people cheating on each other, or, you know, domestic abuse. Heavy topic, but that seems like more of a deadly venom than unmet expectations. That seems pretty normal, right? Hey, I expected you to do the dishes. That is the deadly venom of our marriage. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. So what's the solution? I'm a math guy. This is like the most insufferable article I've ever read. Like this guy is literally like the actually, like as a writer. It's awesome. I love crunching numbers and I thoroughly enjoyed algebra and calculus in high school. So I came across an equation. Expectation minus observation equals a restoration. Oh, wow. Expectation. When I come home from a long day at work, I expect my wife to have dinner prepared and ready for us to sit down and eat as a family. She'll be wearing an apron with no food stains on it because she's perfect like that, and her hair will be perfectly done up. When I come home from work 30 minutes late and my dinner hasn't even been thought of, much less started. Because of this, my toddler is screaming her head off, signing more. Please, eat. When I search for my wife, I find her working on a design project trying to meet a deadline that's technically already past due. When I ask for what's for dinner, so she also has a job? When I ask what's for dinner, she glares at me the way only an overworked, overtired work from home mama can glare. After picking up my toddler, I make my way to the kitchen to find an abundance of no groceries. So being the manly chef that I am, I set my eyes on cheese and bread. Grilled cheese, I explain. Oh, fuck. Disclaimer, in no way was that illustration indicative of my actual life. It's either not true at all, highly exaggerated, or spot on. The jury's still out. Doesn't really change the fact that it's kind of weird to be like, I still expect my wife should still have food ready for me every night. Okay, finally, here's the answer. Here's the answer to divorce. Let your observation take precedent over your expectation, period. In other words, go with the flow. In other words, long story short, just chill. That's basically what he's saying for the article. I don't have to read the rest of it because the rest of the article is just like, are you frustrated? Relax, man. Stop. Which is true, but didn't require him telling me about his human trafficking seminar. At the end of the day, my stance stays the same on these articles. They're pretty useless. It's just like, hey, act like a normal human, which is kind of like what I want this channel to be about, which is like trying to teach people how to not just think about themselves in relationships. And it is okay to sometimes take, you should always take priority over yourself when we're talking about a lot of cases. You should make sure you are safe and you are happy before you move on and try to make someone else safe and happy. But when you have committed to a relationship and you have committed to another person, you are deciding that responsibility is now also over them, because there is a give and take to relationships and you do have to give also. But if you're not ready to do that yourself, then you should not be in a relationship, whether that means you're not emotionally vulnerable, whether that means you're not like physically or spiritually vulnerable enough with that person. You should not be committing to something. And that doesn't mean marriage. That means an actual relationship also. A lot of you guys in here are young and you are in high school, and you have to remember that the reason why high school relationships don't work and why most relationships don't work is like for the same reason. It's the fact that you will get excited about something that feels exciting because naturally the human body is built that way. You get excited about having dopamine rushes from people who you are interested in. And it's very easy to be interested in someone who slightly fills your guidelines when you haven't really dated people yet, because you don't realize what you want yet. You're like, oh, this is fun. This girl's cute. This guy's cute. That is your original guideline when dating people in high school is, are they nice to me and are they cute? It's not, where are they going in the future in their life? What do they believe? What are their values? Those are the things that once you become an adult and you've gone through a few relationships, you realize that you want that. That's why it's like important to put yourself out there and be a little bit vulnerable, but be safe when you're meeting new people, because most people in here are not even done with a quarter of their life. And you cannot go into life being like, I already know what I want, when you haven't given yourself the time. There's no need. You have so long, guys. And there are so many people in the world. There is not one person. You can tell me a million times that there's the one person you found, but the bottom line is there's a lot of people. Oh yeah, a lot of people. And no matter where you live, you're going to find someone that goes to your high school and you're going to say, oh, this person who was in my calculus class, they're the perfect person. I'm going to marry them. I can't believe it's the one person in my life. No, that's the one person in your high school that happened to be in your calculus class that you like. You live in goddamn Kansas. If you move somewhere else, you're going to find the perfect person also. But the answer to relationships and being worried about finding that one person is that it is not about finding the one perfect person. It's about finding the person person that makes you say, there might be a bunch of other people out there, but I'm okay with being with this one person forever. I am so comfortable not even worrying about the fact that there might be people who are more compatible with me, or there might be people who would maybe make me a little bit happier in a different context. It's not about that. It's about finding that person that you're confident with and saying, hey, am I okay with knowing that there might be better people out there, but I am so happy with this person that I can stay with them. And you're always going to find that. You don't know how many people are out there. And if you guys are watching me, you're at least well adjusted enough to find some other weirdos that will like you too. There's probably people in this chat that are going through, worried about not being able to find someone again, or worried about not being with that specific person. But just remember, even if that person was the perfect person, and even if you lost that person and you're so sure they're the perfect person, you're going to find someone else who can at least be just the same way. No matter how many people you think are in the world, you can't conceptualize that number, right? Even going on a dating app, if you can't find someone after years, not everyone's on a fucking dating app. Not everybody lives in the place that you live in or goes to the high school that you go to. It's wild what the human brain will tell you about a relationship and what the human brain will make you think about a certain person. And those feelings are valid, because at the end of the day, you were built to feel this way. And so you can't tell someone. You're gonna have people who tell you, hey man, you just shouldn't worry about this, like I am right now. But that's not how it works, right? Because you are going to feel a certain way biologically, scientifically. You're gonna have chemicals that make you feel a certain way in your head, and you are going to feel sad. But it's not about whether or not you feel sad. It's not about being like, I'm gonna stop being sad. It's about understanding that that moment passes, and that there are another 1,000 people at least in the world. And when I say 1,000, I mean 100,000 different people in the world that will make you feel the same way. And that might sound depressing to know that that one person wasn't the perfect person, or that the person you're with now isn't the perfect person, but there's no such thing as the perfect person. There's always going to be someone out there who would make you feel better, or at least make you feel just as good in a different context. It's just about finding the person that makes you say, okay, I'm aware that there are other people and that there could be a better deal out there. But that's how happy I am with this person, that I know that there are other people out there, yet I still am okay with this person, and I'm so happy with them. Anyways, I'm gonna go eat with my wife. Am I right, guys? Anyways, that's it. That's all I gotta say.